We're buying things we don't need with money we don't have, just to impress people we don't even like. It may sound extreme, but this is the quiet truth unfolding in millions of lives every single day. You upgrade your car. You buy an expensive watch. You get the newest phone. Not because you truly need them, but because you're afraid of being seen as falling behind. You want to be recognized. You want others to think you've made it. But what's the cost? Credit card debt spiraling out of control. Retirement savings disappearing. Anxiety is replacing peaceful sleep. Health declining. Happiness fading. Wealth is always just out of reach. The truth is, we're not spending money to live better. We're spending money to live through someone else's eyes. This video is here to wake you up, to help you see the financial trap tightening around you every day, and more importantly, to show you the way out, so you can live by your values, with freedom, fulfillment, and enough, starting today. Show-off spending behavior. We're living in an era where a person's worth seems to be measured by what they own, not by knowledge, spirit, or meaningful relationships, but by the kind of car they drive, the phone in their hand, or the logo on the bag they carry. Show-off spending, whether subtle or obvious, has become one of the most dangerous financial mistakes, especially for middle-aged Americans. In your 50s, social pressure quietly sets in. You've worked for decades, and now you're expected to have a luxury SUV in the driveway, the latest phone in your pocket, and at least one designer item to match your circle. It's a common feeling, and a very expensive one. Many don't buy the car for better transportation. They buy it for recognition. They don't upgrade their phone because the old one doesn't work. They upgrade because they're afraid of being labeled outdated. They don't wear watches for precision or durability. They wear brands for what they represent. And then they call it an investment in their image. But the truth is, it's not an investment. It's consumption. And when your consumption exceeds your financial capacity, you'll pay the price. Not in admiration from others, but in long, exhausting months of credit card payments. According to multiple reports, millions of Americans are spending beyond their actual income just to maintain a lifestyle that isn't truly theirs. They're burning their future to protect their image in the present. Here's a common example. Someone earning $6,000 a month spends $1,200, 20% of their income, on things that offer no lasting value. Luxury car leases, trendy designer clothes, the latest tech gadgets. Meanwhile, they have no emergency fund, no retirement investments, and can't even spare $100 to take a personal finance course. So what would make someone spend $1,500 on a handbag but hesitate to invest $100 in financial education? The answer lies in a truth few dare to face. We don't spend based on need. We spend based on fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of falling behind. Fear that if we don't have certain things, we'll lose our worth in the eyes of others. And yet the true cost we pay isn't in our closets, it's in our future. When your money is no longer supporting what truly matters, your health, education, personal growth, or retirement, you begin to lose the freedom to choose how to live your own life. Eventually, you may find yourself surrounded by beautiful things, but unable to rest when tired, unable to stop working when your body wears down, unable to pursue what you love simply because your finances won't let you. And it all starts with decisions that seem harmless. One designer item, one flashy phone, one shiny new car. But when those decisions become habits, they form a spiral. And that spiral will quietly pull you away from financial freedom, peace of mind, and even joy. The most dangerous part? It's how normalized this has become. When everyone's doing it, it no longer looks like a mistake. It's celebrated. You get swept into an invisible race with no finish line, just pressure. And the cost isn't just financial. You lose precious time that could have been spent with family or improving your health. You delay learning new skills, telling yourself it's not urgent. You live as a stressed version of yourself, instead of the calm and confident version you deserve to be. And the sad truth? The people you're trying to impress may not even care. Or worse, they're stuck in the same race, just as lost as you are. So if you're in midlife right now, don't keep chasing things that don't truly make you happy. Ask yourself,
Does this item genuinely support my health, my spirit, or my personal growth? Does it move me closer to financial freedom? Or is it just a way to mask a temporary feeling of insecurity? This isn't a call to live frugally. It's a call to live intentionally, to spend on value, not on illusion, to invest in what you actually need: a strong body, a peaceful mind, a solid retirement plan, and authentic relationships. Because in the end, true wealth isn't about what you own. It's about the quiet confidence of living by your values without needing to prove anything to anyone. And that is the only kind of success that truly lasts. The consequences and the price we pay. Every poor spending decision you make today becomes a quiet piece of the puzzle shaping your financial future. When you buy a luxury car to be admired or spend thousands on designer items you don't really need, you're not just losing money, you're trading away your freedom. Behind the appearance of success lies a mountain of credit card bills, high-interest debt, and a tightening noose around a life you once believed was comfortable. The first impact is financial. Countless middle-aged Americans fall into a dangerous cycle, spending more than they earn, leading to borrowing, borrowing to buy, borrowing to maintain appearances. And when the money comes in slower than it goes out, you begin to lose choices, especially in your work. You lose the right to rest. You can't stop, because if you stop, everything crashes. Early retirement? That becomes a luxury, out of reach, when you're still struggling just to make the monthly payments. The dream of a peaceful life after 60 slowly fades, replaced by a hard truth. You're not working because you want to. You're working because you have to. But the cost isn't just measured in dollars. It strikes deep into your emotions, your spirit, your inner peace. When you live to seek validation from others, you feel constantly pressured to prove yourself, always comparing, always chasing. And that pressure builds relentlessly. It not only drains your energy, it robs you of the ability to enjoy life's simplest pleasures: a quiet dinner with family, or a morning without financial anxiety. You begin to feel insecure every time someone else gets the newer thing. You feel like you're not enough, even after all your effort. And you forget this: your worth doesn't come from what you wear. It comes from the peace you carry inside. In that pursuit, you slowly lose touch with your core values, the ones that used to give your life meaning. You no longer have time to sit with loved ones. You no longer have space in your mind to feel joy in the little things. Your thoughts are consumed with stress, with the need to perform, with the fear of falling behind. And eventually, the inevitable happens. Relationships begin to fracture. Financial tension is one of the leading causes of divorce, especially among middle-aged couples. When one partner spends recklessly while the other tries to save, the gap between them widens. It's no longer just about money, it's about fundamentally different values. Worse still, the children watch and learn. They grow up believing love is earned through possessions, that to be liked you have to have the latest, wear the trendiest, flaunt the most. And the cycle repeats, again and again. Did you know there's a community of people who are incredibly wealthy, yet never flaunt it? I'll share more about them soon. But first, let's look directly at the real question. What is it that truly makes us spend this way? Is it happiness? If so, why do we feel more empty the more we buy? Is it recognition? But recognition from whom? From people we don't even like? The truth is, we're trying to buy a feeling, a sense of security, a sense of worth, a sense that we're not falling behind. But if those feelings are tied to material things, they will never be enough. Because material things never stop evolving. Today you buy the latest phone. Tomorrow there's already a newer one. How long can you keep up? And how long will you keep paying the price? That's why so many people later in life come to a painful realization. They've never truly lived for themselves. They've lived for the gaze of others. And when they no longer have the strength to keep up, they finally feel how empty it all is. But you don't have to wait until then to change. You can start now, today, by looking again at the values that really matter to you. Invest in your health, because nothing is more valuable than a strong, capable body. Take care of your mental well-being, because that's the foundation for every wise decision you'll ever make. Nurture your relationships, because no one succeeds alone. And never stop growing, because you are the greatest asset you'll ever own. True wealth isn't about how much you have, it's about how much you can let go of and still feel whole. And when you no longer need to prove anything, that's when you finally become free.
Breaking free from the spending spiral. We weren't born to live for other people's approval. And yet, strangely enough, the older we get, the more we fall into the trap of spending money just to feel accepted. A new car, an expensive watch, a luxury handbag, not because we need them, but because we believe people will think more highly of me. This pressure only grows stronger in midlife. When you've crossed the halfway mark of your life, you want to look back and feel like you've accomplished something. But instead of measuring success by peace of mind, time with loved ones, or the freedom to choose your path, we start measuring it by price tags, unintentionally stepping into a dangerous spending cycle. Breaking out of that cycle isn't easy, but it doesn't start with cutting expenses. It starts with asking yourself one simple question. Does this truly serve my health, success, or happiness? If the answer is no, you already have a good reason to stop. And once you stop, you begin to see life's real value. A quiet dinner with family, a routine health check, a course that helps you grow as a person. These are what truly define your quality of life. They don't need to be expensive. They don't need to impress anyone. They just need to be right for you and aligned with what you truly cherish. From that moment on, you start redefining what success really means. It's no longer about driving the latest sports car, but about having the health to steer any journey you choose. It's not about owning the biggest house, but about living in a home you've paid off, stress-free. It's not about status, but about freedom. The freedom to rest when you're tired, to work on what you love, and to live your truth without proving anything to anyone. Spending money no longer becomes a band-aid for emotional insecurity. It becomes a strategic choice. You begin building an emergency fund so life's surprises don't catch you off guard. You invest in skills to increase your value in a changing world. You budget for financial education so you won't fall into debt traps again. You prioritize long-term peace over short-term thrills. And the feeling of control over your finances? It's not cold or dull like many assume. It brings a quiet, lasting kind of joy. The kind of joy that comes from knowing you can handle whatever comes your way. You no longer dodge bills. You don't flinch when the bank calls. You sleep deeper. You breathe easier. You live more freely because deep down, you know you're finally on the right path. And the best part? You don't have to live frugally to get there. You don't need to cut out all the pleasures of life. You don't need to live like a monk. You just need to shift your mindset from spending to impress to spending to build a life worth living. Some might ask, is it really possible to save tens of thousands a year and still live comfortably? The answer is absolutely. And I'm going to show you a strategy that can help you do just that without giving up the things you love. But before we get there, we need to confront something deeper. What truly drives us to spend this way in the first place? Because only when you understand the why can you finally free yourself from unhealthy spending habits and begin living for the things that truly matter. Health, happiness, success, meaningful relationships, personal growth, and a peaceful spirit.
A shift in mindset. After everything we've explored, from understanding showy spending habits, the real cost behind them, and the journey to break free from the consumerist spiral, it's time to pause and ask ourselves, what's truly worth spending money on? And what's quietly stealing the life we were meant to enjoy? The truth is, spending to impress will never make you wealthy. It only makes you look wealthy in front of people who are probably struggling just like you to maintain the same illusion. Buying expensive things for admiration might bring a fleeting sense of satisfaction for an evening, a party, or a post on social media. But when the spotlight fades, what's left? Mounting credit card debt. That sinking feeling when your savings account runs dry. The helplessness when your child needs tuition help, when your health demands expensive treatment, or when you're ready to rest but can't because financial obligations still weigh you down. Many believe emotional spending is just part of modern life, a way to blow off steam, reward themselves, or feel worth it. But what they don't realize is that every time they spend this way, they're not just losing money. They're slowly losing the freedom to choose in the future. They're trading short-term comfort for long-term constraint, and they're repeating that trade over and over without realizing they're trapped in a cycle. Worse, spending to be seen makes us lose touch with who we really are. We forget what we truly need, what we genuinely want, and what actually brings us happiness. We stop spending to live and start living to spend just to maintain an image that is unsustainable, inauthentic, and ultimately hollow. It drains the joy from life, fades the meaning in our relationships, and slowly empties our spirit, no matter how polished the exterior seems. Success isn't measured by how many things you own. It's measured by your ability to live true to your values without needing to prove anything to anyone. Wealth isn't found in bags, cars, or designer labels. It's found in the strength to say no to social pressure and yes to what truly nourishes your health, happiness, and personal growth. You absolutely deserve to live well. You deserve to treat yourself. You deserve to enjoy beautiful things, but only when it comes from a place of true desire, not because you feel pressured to be validated. And when you start spending based on real values, not other people's opinions, you'll feel freer than ever before. Freedom isn't about having endless money. Freedom is not being controlled by money. It's knowing that you're using money as a tool to build a life that matters, not chasing money to prove your life matters. If you're in your 40s or 50s, now is the golden moment to reflect. It's not too late to change. You don't need to be perfect right away. You just need to begin today with one simple question before every purchase. Will this actually make my life better, or does it just make it look better? Choose a life of intention. Spend to invest in your health, because no one earns well in a failing body. Invest in lasting relationships, because no luxury item can replace real love and support. Nurture your spirit, because inner peace is the root of true happiness. And most importantly, you don't owe anyone a performance. This life is yours, not theirs to approve of. If there's one takeaway from this entire video, let it be this. Spend money on what truly matters, not on how others see you, because the moment you no longer need to perform to feel worthy, that's the moment you begin to live like someone truly successful. Thank you for spending your precious time watching this video. I hope these reflections helped you see more clearly how to spend wisely, protect your financial health, and create a life filled with freedom, peace, and lasting happiness. If you've ever felt the pressure to prove your worth through material things, share your thoughts below. The community here is listening, and we walk this journey together. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss future content on personal growth, success, and spiritual well-being. I'll see you in the next video, refreshed, inspired, and more deeply connected.